Before we discuss question number 3 and 4, I want you to write down the note for redox reactions in electrolysis. Write down the note. Positive ions, within brackets cations, move to the cathode gain electrons and will become elements. Write example: Cu2 plus 2 electrons becoming Cu, then 2H plus 2 electrons becoming H2. As they are gaining electrons, they are reduced and reduction always occur at the cathode. Leave a line and write. The negative ions, anions, move to the anode. They give away electrons and oxidizes. Therefore, oxidation always takes place at the anode. Write down these two examples: 2Cl minus, Cl2 plus 2A minus, and hydroxide example. And also you must understand that the electron loss at the anode balances the electron gain at the cathode. So there is no collection of electrons, so increase or decrease in the number of electrons there. Whatever is given away will be taken. Right. Let's go to question number 3. Why does an ionic compound have to be molten to undergo electrolysis? Why? So obviously electricity is conducted by only very limited number of species. The first one is metals. Metals will always conduct electricity, but then there has to be ions that can move the charge. If the ions are in solid form or solid state, they cannot move. Why? Because they are tightly bound with the whatever the solid that they are part of, because they cannot move, right? So the ions must be able to move to the electrodes before electrolysis can occur. So as a result, the answer is going to be because they have to be free to move to the through the electrolyte into the electrodes. Give two properties of graphite that makes it a suitable material for use as an electrode. Explain your answer. Two properties of graphite that makes it suitable material for use as an electrode. So as soon as graphite is said, you understand or you should remember that graphite is able to conduct electricity because it contains delocalized electrons, right? Because they have delocalized electrons, they can move through these graphite layers that are there, and it can conduct electricity. So that is one property. The other one is it has a high melting point, therefore it would not because it has giant covalent structure, and these covalent bonds are quite strong. As a result, it would not melt due to the high temperatures of electrolytic cell. Why do we have high temperatures in electrolytic cell? Obviously, because to melt these ionic materials, we would require very high temperatures. So I'm sure you have already written those answers. If you have not, please go through these lessons and try to understand once again what it means. Then question number 4. Explain why cations move towards the cathode during electrolysis. Obviously, cations are positively charged and the cathode is a negatively charged electrode. So the negative opposite charges attract. As a result, the cations will get attracted to the cathode. Part B, when lead iodide PbI2 is electrolyzed, the following reactions occur. Pb2 plus gains 2 electrons to produce Pb, and 2I minus will go and give away 2 electrons to produce I2. Which of these equations describe the reaction at the cathode? Right, so cathode is, what happens at the cathode? Cathode, at the cathode, the positive one will go and gain electrons. So gaining means what happens? Gaining is oil rig gaining is reduction. So at the cathode, Pb2 plus will gain 2 electrons to become Pb. Therefore, lead ions are reduced because electrons are gained. Then the explanation for your answer is reduction always take place at the cathode. Reduction always take place at the cathode. Then what is the oxidation number change of each iodide ion in the reaction? 2I minus becoming I2 to give 2 ion. 2 electrons. 2 electrons comes from each iodine ion. Because there are 2 iodine ions, it is minus 1. Minus 1 is turning into I2 is 0. Minus 1 to 0. So then what is the oxidation number change? They are asking for the change. Minus 1 to 0 is plus 1 because it gains it actually you have to subtract it. Oxidation number change is minus 1 to 0 is plus 1 is the change. I hope you understood. If you have any questions, please raise them.